Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Brad Holiday, and once again, this is another video, another little bit of advice for those of you in high school and younger viewers, even who are in middle school. So, this one is going to be specifically for men because I believe it's more important for young men to do this bit of advice for a number of reasons. So, this bit of advice is no matter whether your passion is in arts, or science or mathematics, or you're more of a esoteric type person, you want to do thinking, you should still find your way into the weight room, and you should still find your way into the kitchen, you should still find your way into a sports team of some type. So let me break down the reasons for this. So if you're a young man in middle school, a big part of your happiness is revolving around your ability to meet and date and attract and seduce members of the opposite sex, women. And frankly, and another aspect of this is that it's very important for you to be able to defend yourself against bullies. So here's the truth. Let's start with the bullying. The truth about the bullying is that the fact of the matter is that bullies bullying is actually somewhat of a good thing because before you began to be very, very harsh on bullying and prevent bullying from occurring, it actually used to force young men and young women to step up and learn how to step up to bullies. Because the fact of the matter is that once you get out of school, bullying still occurs. People trying to oppress you and keep you down and exert their will over you happens in an intellectual capacity and a physical capacity. For instance, I live here in Harlem, and I'm about 5'8". I'm 195 pounds as of this video. Pretty well built. Not exactly, where I want to be, but I'm still pretty well built. And I know how to fight, and I can defend myself. And because of that, I don't really get problems up here. Now, when I was in high school and I was in middle school, I used to be very small, and I used to actually deal with a fair amount of bullying, but I learned how to deal with it because I either knew that I was either going to continue to get bullied or I was going to fight back and I was going to stand up for myself. And because of that, people didn't mess with me. So my advice for younger people is that you need to get yourself in the weight room, you need to learn how to eat and train. Anything that they have said where they lie, there's this myth that says if you lift weights and you exercise when you're young, you're going to halt your growth. Nothing could be further from the truth. If you lift weights and you eat good, clean, healthy meals, you learn how to eat, primarily whole, unprocessed foods, chicken, beef, fish, combined with a good carbohydrate source such as rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, oatmeal, and vegetables for fiber and fruits, and a lot of water. If you learn to eat like that, primarily, you're going to be healthier than most of your peers. Your skin is going to be better. You're going to be stronger. You're going to perform better. You're going to attract other members of the opposite sex. And due to the lifting of the resistance training and the cardio, you're probably going to grow taller because you're boosting the amount of natural growth hormone and testosterone that's in your body. So if you want to grow an extra couple inches, your best bet probably is to begin weight training when you're in late middle school. You're like 13, 14, 15 years old, and then continuing that and having that be a lifetime good habit. So there's that. Now, I'm going to give you a sample weight training program and a sample eating program, a sample cardio program for young people. Now, the reason that you're going to want to be on a sports team is because if you're on a sports team, one, it's very good for boys to be athletic, and it's very good for boys to also be part of a team which has competition. It's very good for the self-esteem. And if you combine your own discipline in the weight room with perhaps like on top of your practices with the team, if you go out and you practice, let's say that you are training in wrestling. If you go to your wrestling practices on your off days from wrestling, you're training in the weight room, and then while you're in the weight room, you're practicing shooting, you're practicing your various wrestling. I'm not a wrestler, but I know more boxing and MMA stuff. But let's say you're practicing your takedowns, you're practicing on the drill dummy, you're practicing different conditioning exercises, endurance. You're working outside. There's no reason that you will not be the best in your school, because the fact of the matter is that most kids lack the discipline. Most people, most adults even, lack the discipline to be the best. They never were going to be the best. They just did the bare minimum. Generally speaking, the best kids in my school were kids that just simply had genetic gifts and they had natural talent. Now, if you work harder than them, you'll beat them. So, for instance, if you learn how to eat, you learn how to train, you do the extra cardio, and you do extra drills outside of weightlifting or outside of the practices for wrestling or whatever your skill is, you're going to be one of the best on the team. And if you're the best on the team, that's something we like to call status in your school. People are going to know you and respect you because you're one of the best. And you're going to be bigger and stronger than most people, and you're going to look more healthier, and you're going to win games, and you're going to win meets. And because of that, girls are going to notice you, and they're going to want to spend time with you. So you're going to build confidence from the way that you look. You're going to build confidence from winning the games or winning the meets dominantly. And you're going to build confidence. It's just going to be all over you. You're going to be very much on what David Deida calls on your masculine purpose very early in life, at a young age. And it's going to set you up for success later down the line. Because if you can do this now, this is a habit you're going to take with you for the rest of your life. And as you get older, your physique is only going to get better. You're only going to get stronger. You're going to be able to do more things. The reason I say wrestling is because if you're trying to learn how to deal with bullies, wrestling is actually a very, very good form of fighting. There's no ground and pound like in MMA. There's no submissions per se, but it does teach you to be in the dominant position. So if you needed to do any of those things, you'd be in the best possible position to do them. So, watch UFC if you need to see examples of this. If you're on top of somebody or you've taken their back, you are always in the dominant position in the fight. And if you learn how to use leverages and things like that, you're also going to be in a better position to win any fight. And you also are going to feel less inclined to fight, especially if people in your school know that you're a really good wrestler. So that's the first thing that I would say about this. Get yourself in the weight room. Get on a team. Any team. I mean, if you're not really tall, basketball probably isn't the best option. In fact, I think that wrestling is probably your best bet because it's something that you can actually take outside of school once you are done with school. Now, if you really are passionate about a sport, by all means, go for it. If you're passionate about football, you're passionate about powerlifting. I don't know if they have powerlifting in schools anymore. I think mine did. But I would say wrestling is one skill that you can take into life later. If you want to learn how to fight and protect yourself, that's something that's going to set you in a huge advantage at that. Then you would just need to add some striking and submissions and maybe weapons training later. But that's pretty much it. But if you want to do football, football is very high status. If you want to do baseball, do baseball. If you're tall enough to do basketball. Any of those things are sufficient. Be on a team and learn what it's like to compete and learn what it's like to be a contributing member of a team and put in that work and be the best, hardest working one. You want to be the best, hardest working one on that team. And it's going to put you at such an advantage for meeting girls, having all these girls clamor over you, having the respect of your peers. Your teachers will know about this. They'll respect you more. They'll be more inclined to give you better grades because you're doing well in the sports. And your parents will also respect you. They'll be very proud because their son is killing it, and he's so widely known. He's the best. There's one of those things that really, really makes parents proud, and if you want your parents to stay off your back, that's a really great way. It's a very win-win situation. Because on one hand, you're doing something for yourself. On the other hand, you're also making your parents super proud, and they're going to, trust me, you're going to enjoy that. They'll get you better clothing. They'll maybe get you more gifts. They'll give you more attention, they'll be more relaxed with you, they'll stay off your back more, and they'll be more inclined to help you. It's only going to improve your relationship with your parents, which, trust me, you want to have a good relationship with your parents if possible. So that's all I have to say for now, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and remember to subscribe down below for more great tips.